Hakuna Matata.
Hey, welcome to Video Coaching Blog number 2. It is Wednesday of week 2, and we have a lot of good news pouring in. We had an awesome day Memorial Day. We've had a lot of great news coming in the last couple days. You guys are serving a ton of families, making it happen, and super proud of you. So thank you for all the work you're putting in. We have some people that are already on pace for their best week ever as student leaders, and we have a bunch of people that have already had their best week in week 2 in the first year students. So I want to give you a couple of quick ideas on how to really make the most of your week 2 transitioning into week 3 experience, because this is the point of the summer where your skill set is improving, you're getting more and more comfortable with how to do what to do, you know exactly kind of what you need to work on, everyone's got a pretty good grasp of what their strengths are and what they still need to improve on, and the biggest thing that it takes to have just exponential growth from this point forward is really two things. One is becoming incredibly self-aware of what you really are doing well and what you really do want to get better at. You know, sometimes I'll coach a first year student and I'll ask them, hey, what percentage of the time are you actually second approaching? How often are you really going for the bag? And a lot of people will be like, well, a pretty good amount. And then the next day I'll try to tell them to just really be cognizant of it. And then they come back at the end of it and be like, yep, I pretty much never second approach. Or I never went for the bag the entire day. So part of it is just really being coachable and a student of the game and asking yourself after each house in a very constructive way of like, all right, cool. Well, that was a good approach. What do I want to do better next house? And like, you know what, I'm going to focus on eye contact. I feel like that's something I could get better at. Or, I feel like I'm still a little bit uptight. I just want to loosen up and have a little more fun. And if you give yourself one simple thing to work on at each door, that has a huge impact at this point in the summer. And you can really help yourself get up that technical learning curve a little bit quicker. The second thing, though, and this is way more important, is the attitude portion. This is the part of the summer where we all naturally want to start doing really, really well. Everyone's like, okay, it's, middle of week 2. I really want to start selling to a ton of people. I want to have a ton of families I'm serving. I want to start selling more units. All these things, and it's very easy to start to get results focused. Week 1, it's easier to stay focused on just the controllables and improvement and daily growth, and it's all fresh and it's all new. And week 2, we kind of start to get a little tense. Even if we're doing well, sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to even do better. So if we're, in the middle of 3 o'clock on a Wednesday and we've had a slow day, it's easy to start to freak out and say, oh my gosh, maybe today's not going to go as well, even though you've had some pretty strong days in the past. Or if you've had a little bit of a slower start to the summer, it's easy to say, oh my gosh, another 0 day, here it comes. Instead of having the attitude where nothing is a huge deal and just having fun and realizing the book field is such a fun place if you just take a deep breath and allow it to be, and if you don't take yourself too seriously. So here is what we're going to do. Here's what we're going to do, because a lot of you are doing a great job of this already. Some of you guys are really struggling at taking yourself too seriously. We're going to have a fun contest. We are going to do, it's going to be a very, very complicated contest. No, I'm just joking. It's pretty simple. We're going to have a high five, fist bump, make them laugh contest tomorrow. Here's how it's going to work. You're going to get 1 point for every high five that you give tomorrow, with a maximum of 3 points per person you talk to. So if you're getting pre-approach from a grandma, it's like, oh my gosh, like, grandma, seriously, high five, you're amazing, like, you're a hero. And then you get some more pre-approach, like, no, you know what, let's go back in. I need a second high five for you. You are seriously a lifesaver. As you're leaving, be like, hey, just one more for the road. High five, grandma. When you're in the demonstration, you're talking to mom, like, how are the kids doing in school so far? And the straight A's like, get out of here, girl. It's like, you are a sweet mom. You go through and you're demoing the books. Have fun with it. Enjoy it. It's you guys, if you will do that with little kids, if you're high-fiving them the entire time, it's like, hey, what's this? It's Tiger. It's like, dude. Then you're going to have a fun day. This job is so fun when you allow it to be. 1 point per high five, maximum of 3 points per person. When you leave every single house tomorrow, I want you guys to write next to it. If it was a demo, I want you to put a D and then a 3 if you had 3 high fives during your demo. If it was a presentation and you had 2 people there and you gave 6 high fives, you can put P6. And by the end of the day, we're in a total of how many points you get for high fives. Now, here's the second way you can earn points. You get 2 points for grandma fist bumps. 1 point for high fives, grandma or grandpa fist bumps. There is nothing funnier on the book field than giving a fist bump to a 90-year-old lady. I'm telling you. Like, right away, so like, oh my gosh, grandma, high five. Actually, hey, fist bump. And they're like, oh, okay, yes. And if you're having fun with it, they will crack up. They will love you. You're going to be a huge bright spot in their day. 2 points for a grand fist bump, 1 per house. And then you're going to get an additional point. I want you to get 1 point for every person you make laugh tomorrow. Whether it's a pre-approach person, a door demo, a contact, you get 1 point for making someone laugh. And at the end of each house, when you leave that house, I want you to write down a contact, presentation or demo followed by how many points you earned there. If it was a grandma, you don't have to write down any stat, you can just write down the points. And then we're getting 1 bonus point. This is something I don't know if any of your student leaders have told you about, but we do something occasionally called 3 o'clock capers. Middle of the day, 3 o'clock, end of the goal period, and just doing something fun and quirky. If you guys have not started doing this, you need to start doing this every single day with your roommates. It is a blast. We used to do ones where we'd actually like write down a suggestion, fold it up, put it in your pocket, and you're not allowed to read it because you exchange them at breakfast until 3 o'clock. Everyone's watch would go off. You'd pull out a piece of paper and you'd read it. I still remember Maurice Howell. You guys remember Juniper Pants Boy. And one day he had bark like a seal. So his alarm went off 3 o'clock. He was in the middle of a living room with a mom. And he was like, oh, sorry about that. Grabs it out. And it said bark like a seal. And Maurice, just without losing a beat, didn't even like hesitate. He just got up in the middle of his presentation and started going, and the mom's looking at him like, what's happening here? And then it's great. He just went right back into his demonstration. He's like, yeah, so in the math books, as if nothing had happened. And the mom she ended up buying and just cracking up. She's like, by the way, what was that seal thing that happened? And if you guys don't take yourself too seriously, if you're willing to do stuff like that, have fun, good things are going to happen. So the very first 3 o'clock cape we're going to do tomorrow is the first house you get out of or the first house you're running up to after the 3 o'clock goal period starts. You're going to get a bonus 10 points in our game if you'll do like a military style combat roll on the way to the door or on the way away from the door. So you're running up with your bag and all of a sudden 3 o'clock your alarm goes off, or if you don't have a watch alarm, just 3 o'clock, you're running up there, drop your sample case, tuck, roll, and don't even lose a step, and then grab your bag right back up and sprint all the way to the door. So a nice little military-style combat roll in the front yard earns you 10 points. 10 point, one time in the day. And whoever has the most points, actually we'll do this for the top 3. Top 3 point earners from the entire foundation tomorrow are going to win Squid's characters, the Squid stuffed animals. And I'll bring them with me on the Week 3 Sunday Me when I see all of you guys. So have fun tomorrow. Don't take yourself too seriously. Just give yourself one simple thing to work on at each house. And if you guys are having a blast working on things technically at each door, you're going to have an awesome day and you're going to have a killer second half of the week. Thanks for all the work you guys are putting in. I'll talk to y'all soon.